You're tuned in to Talon. 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 Talon it like it is. Folks, now you know that for a while now I've been fascinated with comedy and I've been learning so much about it. And a lot of this is just from a purely a state of curiosity and wanting to know more about the world that I already know so much more about. But some of it, I have ulterior motives. And if you're a loyal listener, which I hope you are, I hope you're following and liking and donating and tweeting at us and emailing and listening every week. But if you haven't listening, you know that I booked a comedy special to be made, and I have never done comedy before, but I thought that I'm so capable of doing the radio show and being such a famous personality for all these years that I needed to expand my horizons and tackle comedy. But I'm discovering that I have absolutely no idea how it works in the slightest. And you might have listened. I had some comedians come in from Olympia, Washington to tell me things about comedy and how that works from stand-up perspective. And I had a professor come in, a professor of satire. And satire, I gotta tell you what, I think I understand it less than before the episode. But what I noticed is that these people who's making all their money from comedy, they're kind of greedy with the information, and I feel like a lot of the information that they're giving me is flawed or absent. And that's not to say anything against them, because I understand why KFC won't tell you the 11 herbs and spices what they are, or Coca-Cola has their recipes split up into 4 different places. I get that, so I get why they don't want to give me that secret sauce. But what I do need to sharpen my abilities when I'm ramping up to this. So I got recommended this comedy coach who's apparently works wonders. I guess he writes for all the biggest stars, and he's really just a dynamo. So I decided that I would get some lessons from him and learn to be better at comedy. And so what I thought would be interesting maybe for you fans to listen along to is I'm going to call him up on the phone and meet him for the first time and find out a little bit about what he has to offer and what he has to say about comedy and the way it works and all that. So I think, can we get him dialed up on the phone? Do you have the digits on him?
Hello.
Hello. Is this comedy coach Ron Davis?
Yeah. Who is this?
This is Talon Thomas from Talon It Like It Is with Talon Thomas. I had my folks reach out to you about getting some comedy coaching done for me.
Have you already paid me yet?
The check is in the mail.
Are you sure about that?
Can we get a fact check on that?
Mail check, fact check, mail's in the check.
There you go. Check's in the mail.
All right.
And it will clear. I'm a very wealthy man. A little bit about me, if you don't already know me from me being very, very famous and everybody already knowing about me, is I'm already a very famous radio personality with a lot of charisma and following. So I'm really just trying to kind of sharpen the blade that I'm already wielding with comedy.
Okay. What kind of comedy are you trying to do?
Funny. Really funny stuff.
All right. It's Talent. That's your name.
It's you could read it that way if you saw it on paper, because it would say Talon Thomas, and you might think it's Talent Thomas, but it's not. It's Talon Thomas.
All right. Well, Mr. Thompson, basically, with comedy, there's 3 different styles of comedy.
Ah, okay. I'm familiar with 2 so far. One of them is saying what is true, and the other one is saying not what is true. What is the third one?
Well, though, disregard that. Whoever told you that,
Okay,
Not,
see, I had been suspicious about the people who had been giving me advice previously, so that's why I'm glad to have someone whose job is giving me advice. So yes, I've disregarded it. I forgot what we were even talking about.
yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I write for Louis Suitcase. I write a lot of the show. I'm actually
Oh.
right before you called me. I was actually just he was begging me for some more material, but I was like, you haven't been doing my material very well recently, so well, maybe a higher price.
Well,
You can
that's not
trust me.
something
That's
you're
what
going
I'm
to
trying
have
to
to
say.
worry about with me because I'm going to do the material. I'm going to execute it so well because here's the thing. I'm very, very charming. Can we get a fact check on that?
Oh yeah, Casanova scale 8.7 on a 7.
Out of 7. So I've got the stage appeal down. I just need some good. I need to spin my hay into gold. Out of my life.
Well, charming will get you far if you're trying to do some sort of magic act or something. But well, for comedy, here's what you need to know about comedy. There's 3 types of comedy. Are you writing this down?
Yes. I have people to do that.
Okay. 3 types of comedy are there's stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
There's improv comedy,
Okay, I see.
and the third there's skit comedy.
Skit comedy. Is that's scitological humor? Because I'm not going to do that one.
Skit comedy, it's like skits. Skit shows like Saturday Night Live.
Oh. So kind of these communist propaganda styles of comedy. Because I know that the Saturday Night Live were very mean to a very good friend of mine, Miss Sarah Palin, and I did not appreciate it whatsoever.
You know the fine Sarah Palin?
Oh yes, we go we go way back. But what I'm concerned about is, so if I'm doing skits comedy, do I have to be mean to truth warriors, or can I do skit comedy that's coming from the right place?
What matters is it's funny. You can make fun of blind people or whatever, or you can make fun of.
That would be good. Well, that one I'm going to write down. I'm not going to leave that in the hands of an intern. Okay.
Are you gonna have holds barred when you're talking on stage?
I had been considering that. I had been considering if I should hold any bars, but I don't think I'm going to.
Okay. So what? All right. So there's the 3 types of comedy. What are you trying to? Are you trying to do skit? You have a skit show.
I've booked myself a special comedy. It has to be a half of an hour comedy special. So I'm thinking, as long as the comedy is special, I should not be in breach of contract. So I probably want to do some of it standing up and some of it sitting down.
Where's the special being taped?
Well, preferably in a place with cameras, but we haven't really nailed that down. I was thinking that I would maybe figure that out as I went. Because they say that comedy is all about figuring it out as you go.
Have you ever performed on stage before?
I've spoken. I mean, I've given commencement addresses and that kind of things, and did get some laughs. I'm not going to say I didn't.
But have you ever done an open mic, or have you ever been on Showcase for comedy?
No, I'm not familiar with either one of those terms. What is an
All
open
right,
mic, or who is
open mic? It's not a person. There's no. It'd be pretty funny if there was like an open mic hunt show. That'd be pretty funny.
Oh, who's Michael Hunt, a funny comedian?
No, it's just funny. You should take my classes.
And that's what I'm so excited to do. I'm gonna roll up my comedy sleeves and I roll up my comedy pant legs if that would be goofy and funny too.
What are you wearing on stage?
What would I wear on stage? Probably something with some. Well, I'd want it to contain a lot of eagle imagery because I think that conveys power, and so I'd want to have eagles, and I'd probably wear a nice a dress ball cap, not something off the rack, but a nice designer ball cap, and some shoes.
Okay. Do you know my friend Joe Piscopo?
Joe Piscopo. No, is he? Sounds awfully Italian to me.
Yeah, he did a Frank Sinatra impression.
Oh, see, I happen to be an expert of sounding and being like Frank Sinatra. So is that a way to do? Is that the fourth type of comedy? Is being Frank Sinatra?
Well, he had this theory that he didn't want to make fun. Like, there's this boy, Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman did an impression of Frank Sinatra, and he made fun of the boss, Frank Sinatra.
That's not. I don't really think that has a place in comedy. Making fun of people. I don't think that's probably very funny.
Certainly.
So this Phil Hartman was a real mean guy, right? Sounds like a real just mean, rotten person.
Yeah, he got what he deserved, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean. I've never heard of him before, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, enough of that. But
okay.
Joe Piscopo had this notion that if you're going to do an impression, you have to honor the person. You can't make fun of the person. You can't do that.
Yes, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yeah.
That's why when everybody is always imitating me when I go out into public and they're saying, oh, I'm Talon Thomas, and I always say, wow, those people are really flattering me.
Do you have any impressions?
Yes. So far, my impression of you is that you're a professional, and you're going to teach me everything that I need to know to get through comedy.
All right. I know you're trying to get into my stand-up comedy level 2 class for free here with all this flattery, but it's still going to be $295.
And that's a pittance to pay for the service that I shall receive. So I have written a joke.
All right, let's hear it. But first of all, does it have a setup? Does it have a punchline?
Yes.
Does it have a pause for after the punchline when there's the inevitable round of applause?
Yes.
Yelling and laughter?
I've carved out a 20-minute silence that I might truncate for the purpose of the radio, but that I've designated that space, certainly, because they're going to be standing up, and then it takes a while to hoist me up onto their shoulders and kind of march me around, so I thought that was important to set aside that time.
That sounds like a rally I was at last night for a certain political event, if you know what I'm talking about. But go ahead, tell the joke. I'm going to have you tell the joke twice. Once, just do it, and then second time, I'm going to try to act like the audience will react. Okay. And don't be thrown. I'm not a laugher, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing comedy.
Oh, but you do comedy.
I've been doing comedy for about a long time now.
Is that like being a deaf composer? Are you like the Beethoven of comedy from your not laughing?
Just that I'm deaf to humor at this point. You know, like I can't think in any. I hear it at night.
Well, you're a tragic figure, so here goes my joke. Okay. All right, folks. Good to see ya. What do you do for a living? A doctor? Okay, here's my joke. So I just flew in from America, and boy, are my arms protected by the Constitution.
All right, that's pretty good. All right, now tell it again, and then I'm going to act like an audience.
Okay. So imagine that I'm walking out so that you can applaud. Oh, hello. Thank you so much. No. But calm it down. So, I just flew in. I just flew in, came in from a...
Boo.
You get him out of here. Get him out of here. Take him into the streets.
All right, Talon, you've already lost it. You got to soldier on. You can't let that guy, Miss Jane Stewart, and the audience is booing. You can't let her get to you.
Now, okay, I don't want to impugn your authority as a comedy coach, but I do not think that my security detail would have let that guy gotten into my show.
Well, you're just going to have to deal. This is Stand-Up 101, which is the class you've signed up for.
Okay. Let's try that again.
Go.
Can you applaud again?
Okay.
Thank you, Patriots. So
You suck.
I just flew
You
in
suck.
from. From America, and boy, are my
Your
arms
radio show
protected
sucks.
by the
Your radio show sucks.
Constitution.
You suck. Hey,
You-
hey, did you gonna do the arm slapping joke or something?
How do you like that for a setup? Oh, wait, let me go back. Instead of shooting him, I say, "Oh, hey, here's my setup," and then I hold my arm back very farly, and I say, "And here's the punch line," and then I punch him out.
I like it. That's good. That's good.
Okay, can you applaud
learned,
again?
Here's what I'll say though.
Yes.
Punchline, that's gold. That's gold. Keep that one. You might want to pay an audience member to boo you just so you can do it. Like it's that good of a line.
Oh,
Alternatively,
I don't think that in the modern comedy atmosphere anyone could get famous staging hecklers. I don't think someone could do that and become a big name.
Have you heard of Paula Poundstone?
No. So anyway, back to the advice for me. I need to get my money's worth out of this.
But alternatively, you had the gun thing, right? You're shooting an audience member.
Yes, I thought that would punish him. Because my Second Amendment I could use against his First Amendment. And sequels are always better.
I'd say, so you're using a real gun?
Yes.
I'd say you use one of those fake guns that say bang, that would be good. Because it scares them, and then it's not real. It's a joke.
Now, some of the people who have done that in the past, who other people think are funny, I don't think are very funny. For instance, the Bugsy Bun, this little rabbit who's going around wearing gloves again, because we all know...
Bugsy Bogue?
Yes. And he is now this rabbit who's going around torturing innocent hunters and rabbits willy-nilly. This guy, he is mocking people with different gender identities because when he dresses up as a lady, it's not to feel free. It's to mock women and to mock Elmer Fudd, who is an American hero and friend of the Second Amendment.
There's a question here?
Yes, so isn't Muggsy Bogues a jerk of a rabbit and not very funny at all? So that's what I'm saying is if I'm using the guns that say bang, are people going to think that that's an endorsement of Muggsy Bogues?
I mean, it is what it is, like, hopefully you don't do something like...
no, that completely clears it up. It is what it is. I get exactly what you mean.
You don't want to be when he took down the Gas House Gorillas on the baseball field, but he was messing with their baseball game, and then he had to terrorize the whole thing by beating them. You don't want to be associated with them. Okay,
yes, thank you. And you know what? That gives me even more faith than the faith that I already had in you, that you agree with me on this topic. And I feel like it's pouring water into a bucket that's already full because I have so much faith that you're going to really guide my comedy in the right direction.
The only direction.
Now,
yeah, sure.
I'm to understand that in comedy now, having my brand is very important.
Uh-huh.
What does that mean in comedy, to have a brand?
Well, everybody knows how Amy Schumer has her thing. Like, she's like, I have a television show. That's her brand.
See, because then people know, she has a TV show, and TV shows are funny, so she must be funny. Ergo de facto, Amy Schumann is funny.
Russell Brand, like, it's in the name. That's his catchphrase. It's in the name. My brand is in the name.
It's very efficient, which I don't usually associate with those people.
And he takes the brand thing even further. Like, he gets branded with the word capitalism on his behind as kind of like a play on, oh, we've been branded and I'm like a political philosopher.
Because
He does that sort of thing.
to say that capitalism is so great that just getting your standard tattoo isn't going to be enough to show how much you love it, and how it shows that capitalism is worth a lot of pain.
He's trying to do some Panko thing where he's like, I hate capitalism, even though big Hollywood agencies seem to think that I should be like a huge comedy star, even though I have not really done anything other than dressed like Osama bin Laden this one time after 9/11 on TRL. So I mean, I think it's a thing of biting the hand that feeds. I can't speak for the man. I don't know him personally. Well, I did do some punch-up work on Arthur, but I never got to meet him.
Okay, so he seems like a real rotten guy. So when I'm having my brand, I don't want to change my name to Talon Brand because that seems wrong, and I don't want to have a TV show right now because I think that being made into so many different pictures of yourself probably takes something away from the real you that's in the center of yourself.
Where are you from? This is kind of the thing, because you have Larry the Cable Guy, like he identifies.
Get R done. That's him, right? He has the shirts they say "Get R done," and I always thought that was so funny.
Well, you're talking to the guy who wrote that, so I mean, he kind of.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a get. That is going in the episode description, if you don't mind, because that is wow.
Yeah. I don't want to go into it. There's kind of some legal legislation kind of going on right now.
Oh yes, I know all about it. I follow that kind of legislation, so I understand why you wouldn't want to comment on that.
So what city are you from? What city are you from?
I was born in Centralia, Pennsylvania.
Centralia, Pennsylvania. So you kind of let's think about this. Are there any like Philly cheesesteaks in your act or anything like that?
No, we didn't really have Philly cheesesteaks because most of the restaurants had closed down. So you would have had to drive to probably Shamokin or Nanticoke if you wanted to go get a cheesesteak.
Okay. All right. Maybe a Liberty Bell kind of thing going on?
See, what we had was a giant coal fire.
Ooh, coal.
Yes, which is very... I know that not all towns have that. I found that out after I moved, is that not every town has a giant mile-long fire burning under it for 60 years.
The coal miners' comedy?
I was not a coal miner, but I think I know enough about it to probably do some jokes.
If you could come out like maybe with some soot on your face and like a little helmet.
Okay. Well, I know that props and outfits are very essential to comedy, so that's a good tip. I'm going to make sure that is recorded onto paper. So I'm coming out with the soot in the headlamp, and then what am I doing?
Well, you'd have to cough.
Okay.
Say you missed a few shows because there was an explosion in the cave, or are they caves? I don't know how that works.
It's called a mine. It's because they're called a mine because back in the olden times, if you were a very rich fellow and you came from Europe over to America and you got to just point at the ground and you said mine, and then you could have everything that came out of the ground.
Hold up. What if you were a coal mime? I like where this is
but
going.
see, I think that would deprive the American people of my voice. Can I be a mime that just talks a lot?
Are you sure about this?
I can talk from inside of an invisible box, is what I'm saying. It'd be the best of both worlds.
I think maybe you should be in a comedy duo with a coal mime. You had some sort of like intern there with you, right?
Yeah, well, I have producers and interns, but I have not shared the spotlight or had a co-host in many, many years.
But I think you should think, because this coal mine thing, that's the funniest thing. Can I use that?
Yes, but it's going to cost you $296.
Oh, my God. Fuck. Oh, can I curse?
No. Actually, I would prefer not to. I have to, because my guys are going to have to go back in with the beep buttons, and then people are going to think that maybe that you were a malfunctioning robot instead of just a potty mouth. So it could get very confusing for people, and I don't want to go down that road.
How about this? How about you? All right, so you said $296 for that coal mine idea that I came up with.
Yes, exactly.
Do you know what Shasta Cola is?
Shasta. No.
I could have sold. If you want to work in the Midwest or on the West Coast, maybe you could buy the. I could sell you that maybe.
Shasta?
For the coal mine bit.
So you could trade me Shasta for the coal mine bit?
Yeah, the bit. I would trade you the bit about Shasta Cola.
So what's the Shasta Cola bit?
You want to hear it?
Yes.
Hey, Talon?
Yes.
We're not broadcasting right. This is like can go off air.
This can be edited out. We have full control over that.
I could give you this coal mine bit or the Shasta Cola bit, but it's kind of not. That's kind of not my bit.
And whose bit is it?
You've never heard of him. You've never heard. It's this guy, Bill Burrows, I think. I forget what his name is.
Bill Burrows. Oh no, I have seen him. He's saying, he's the kind of person who comes out and he says, "Hey, I think all the races are equal, but let's be honest for a minute." And then he says things that contradict that he said he was a good person earlier.
Yeah, his thing is like, I'm wrong about these things, and I've not thought about how they're wrong, but I am espousing how I think they're right. That's kind of that's his brand. Well, to bring it all back.
That's funny. Sounds very funny to me.
But so, Bill, he loaned it to me. I can give you the Shasta Cola bit. Are you on IM?
I don't know what that is.
Instant Messenger?
No, I only do Twitter. My computer, you turn it on, it just goes right to Twitter.
Okay, let's just call it you can have the coal mine bit. You can have it.
Okay, and so now I have a coal mine and a Shasta bit. Now is Bill Burrows going to come knocking at my door asking for this Shasta bit back?
It depends. I mean, do you think your special's going to be popular?
Oh, I think it's going to be in every household in America and also in the world.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. He only watches like football, anyways. He talks about that. He won't see it.
Okay, so yes,
what
continue.
What kind of style of comedy are you doing? We've talked about the different types of comedy, but are you going to be like a Jan Rickles type of guy? Are you going to be Tim Allen type?
Oh, I liked him because he would go, ooh, and it was so funny because I thought, wow, that is such a thing a dad would do, and just the.
Have you seen Last Man Standing? Oh boy,
Last Man Standing. No, I've seen fighting tournaments with that as the prize policy, but I've never seen a motion picture or television show by that name.
It's his television show. It's kind of like All in the Family if it was now, but with the same amount of racism and sexism. It's pretty good.
So it's edgy.
You don't see there's a lot of boring comedy these days.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to combat. That's why I think that I would be so good, and why my special is going to be so great. And so, what I want to know, because we're drawing close to the amount of time that we have, and there's a couple things that I need to know that I feel like have to really seal the deal and make me one of the greats.
Okay, go shoot.
Okay, so here's my thingy, what is my closer? I already was gifted an opener by the comedian Kahijda Sahan, and she had gifted me an opener, so now I need a closer, because I think I can kind of do the rip thing through the center of the half an hour.
You think you could just riff for half an hour?
Yes. I mean, this show is...
Have you ever heard Don Imus's stand-up special, This Honky's Nuts?
No, I've never heard that. I don't like to support anybody else with a radio show.
I don't know if he has a radio show anymore because of his comments. I'm not going to say whether they were right or wrong.
Well, yes, I can speak to that because it's not me and it's on the radio, so it's probably wrong. I found that things tend to fall into one of those two categories.
Sure, if that's your opinion. I'm not going to say my opinion about whether I think it's right or wrong. Maybe it's right. Maybe it could also be wrong. I don't know. I'm not going to say publicly. But I think it's a fine example of a radio personality. Like, I assume you have a radio show?
Yes, I have all sorts of formats. A tape by mail, pod show, radio, satellite radio. We have ones with the satellites on Earth, and it sends it up to the radio to the satellite, so that the astronauts and cosmonauts can listen to it.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say check out Don. I mean, you obviously don't want to listen to the radio show, whether or not he still has it. For those comments that the jury's still out on whether or not they're wrong or right. Could be right or wrong. I don't know. But I think you would and should be open to listening to his stand-up special. He had never tried stand-up before. Just him riffing for an hour. It's called This Honky is Nuts.
Okay, well that sounds like something I will probably get one of my employees to listen to or watch and take notes on and get back to me with what I need to know from that. But I do need, before we go, and the clock is winding down, I need a closer. My big closer. It's going to be iconic, and everyone's going to be quoting it at work. And there's going to be a pecking order of who is cooler at work by who does a better rendition of it. It's going to be that big.
Here you go. I got one for you.
I'm ready.
Just off the cuff. Because you want to end on a big laugh. You do. So here you go. Mm-hmm. An ex-girlfriend said, my penis is like a pencil because the memory of it can get erased. See, that's pretty good. I think you should use that one.
As hilarious as that might be for a Russell Brand or a Paula Poundstone, I've never had a girlfriend. So I don't think anybody would think that joke was about me.
You could say it's about your boyfriend or whatever.
I've also never had one of those. I went straight from stranger to wife.
You have say your wife.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Okay. And then also, I can't talk about sex parts or nudity in my act.
But it's the new normal. Everybody talks about that stuff. I'm not going to, because I was talking to my boss at work. At the office, Lorne Michaels. That's
yes.
what I meant.
I imagined.
Lorne Michaels. I don't. It's not like I'm working in the office or anything. I'm not working at like a data company or anything. It's not what
of course you're not. You're a famous comedy coach. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Talon, can you have that part erased?
Yes, they go back through this with a fine-toothed comb.
Okay, I'll give you and your boys over there a discount on level 2 stand-up class.
Oh, you see here that, fellas?
But I've talked, with Lauren Michaels about a lot of penis stuff. So I mean, it's just normal stuff these days.
See, but that's maybe
Bill
in
Burrow?
the New York elite bubble that you're living in.
Yeah, me. I work at Broadway Video. I do some stuff for them. It's kind of I have sort of a Louis deal. I mean, it's kind of weird because I have the Louis deal with Broadway Video, and then Louis would probably sue me for saying this, but I do write, direct, and star in Louis too.
Ah, I thought your voice was familiar.
Yeah, I mean, he takes all the credit. It's I'm such a fat idiot. I had a lot of cookies.
That is, though, when he says that, I'm saying, wow, that guy is really saying that about himself. And doesn't that make me feel better that he hates himself? And that's really what comedy's all about, is knowing that you're better than people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make fun of his stuff because I write all of it, but the fact that that's all the stuff that doesn't seem that funny. That's all his personality. It's we get it, yeah.
Yeah, I get ya.
But I think you should have free license to talk about whatever you want. But, I mean, okay. I guess you must not be a free speech guy. So
oh, I'm totally in favor of free speech, and I'm free not to use cussing and talking about private parts of my body. But here's what I'm saying is that I think I've heard your joke, and I think that there's a good core to it. So here I've rewritten it so that it fits in with my lifestyle.
Okay.
So my wife said to me the other day that my face is like a pencil because it's so capable of making an endless amount of beautiful things with the right thought behind it.
Well, first of all, I mean, the whole point of the pencil and the penis thing was that the shape. I mean, that's the shape.
Yes, I have a narrow face.
You have a very narrow face. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of body type is it? Weird?
Narrow.
Are you you're very narrow? All right.
I'm narrow. Because I grew up having to fit through a lot of spaces, and anyway, that's not important. This isn't a biology episode.
But the punchline, let's say it again.
But so. Okay, let me try to get through it. My wife says, and I'll do it in a very comedy way this time. So my wife says to me, she says, honey, your face is like a pencil because it's so capable of making an endless amount of beautiful things with the right intentions behind it. I'm so glad that you're my husband, and I'm so glad that this country has you. And then the audience goes wild.
Okay, kind of, all right.
Well, I think we've reached, I think this special is going to be good, and I thank you so much. And I think that when you cash that check, you know what I say? It says $295, put a 1 in front of that. And make it $295.01 because you deserve it.
Are you sure I'm not going to get arrested on forgery sorts of things?
I have no control over the government, buddy. If I did, things would be a lot different. So I cannot guarantee that, but there is record. My guys have been writing everything down, and they know that I really said that for real to you.
Good. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Anything helps. Could I ask the people? Can I put in a little plug?
Oh, certainly, Ron. I mean, this is why you come on these type of things.
So, please, my name is Ron Davis. I do stand-up. I'm on YouTube. You can check. Hey, Tom, do you know the comedian Shang? Have you ever seen Shang?
No. Shang?
This is he's a comedian, does a lot of rape jokes. He mainly does rape jokes.
Hey, you need to tackle those issues. It's essential for men to really work through that.
Okay, but he gave me some interesting advice when I was opening for him at the Royal Lounge. He was opening for me. I mean, and I gave him this advice. I told him about how you should, when you're making a YouTube video, your stand-up, you should have keywords like Kanye West and The Godfather and Ty Dollar Sign. Like, you should have popular. So if you look up Ron Davis stand-up, Kanye West, my video should pop up on YouTube. And yes, I teach comedy classes here in Hutchinson, Kansas. You can take the online course. It's $295, and I also have a Patreon set up for my comedy class. So you can help support the fact that I'm running a comedy class that people can pay to be a part of.
So people can pay to support your ability to take money from more people. I think that's what sharing is all about.
So yeah, Patreon/comedian Ron Davis Comedy. Just anything you can throw my way would really help me get out of, or just continue to do the stuff that you love.
Alrighty, Ron. Well, you heard it here, folks. Send Ron lots and lots of your money because this country needs to laugh during these times. So thank you, Ron, for your services to me and to our nation.
Yeah, we need comedy right now. The idea that this criminal could become president, it's just like...
Oh, and I know exactly which one you're talking about.
I know, yeah. We don't need to say it again. I'm not going to put out my endorsement here today. This is that type of show I'm putting on. Equal opportunity offender. Have you done it? All right, well, I'll let you wrap up the show. I go on. This is why I do. They say I come up with an hour every 4 minutes. That's why they say that about Ron Davis.
Ron Davis, an hour every 4 minutes. He definitely has a liberal definition of how time works.
Hey, let's leave it with the liberal definition.
I like you, buddy. We'll have to have you back.
Let's do it, yeah. And we'll figure out the payment and stuff like that.
Yes. See you, bud.
Okay, thank you. All right, thanks, Tom Thompson. Thank you.
Wow, thanks again. Thanks again to Ron Davis, national treasure, coach of comedy, and thank you for listening around. And I hope you learned a lot, because if you were listening, if you were actually paying attention, then you did learn a lot. And so I'm so glad that you did. And so I'm fully confident that my comedy special will redefine the genre, and that I will kind of revolutionize entertainment as a whole. And I think if you listen to that through, you could kind of see the wheel spinning in that direction. But I think you're still going to be really surprised by what comes out here in the near future. And it's coming out at an undisclosed date. And of course, it's pushing my book back even further. So I kind of have everything piling back, but maybe I'll even do some material about, what it's like to be such a busy, in-demand person that everyone wants something from. So folks, I hope, even if some of that rubbed off on you and you become a funnier person, just don't try to be funnier than me. 2, 3, 4. I'm the coal mine. I'm the coal mine. And I'm spending all of my time in the coal mine. I am in coal mine, and it's very funny to you. Everything about it and everything I do so amusing, and you really should like it on Facebook. Canary Solo. I'm the coal mine, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at TalonItLikeItIs. For new content and updates, visit boiledsprat.com/TalonItLikeItIs. See you next week.